It's time to sit back and check out the RCWR show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your hosts, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey fam, what is going on for this Saturday night of March 1st, 2025? You are checking out a special post-show edition of the RCWR show. We are minutes removed from a game-changing, story-driven, my good God almighty, what a plot twist that was the Elimination Chamber, as it is our final pit stop on the road to WrestleMania. And man, depending on where you're checking us out right now, shout out to everybody that's going to be joining us live in the next little bit that will be on the air. You're probably reading the title of the episode, and depending on the platform, yes, you are reading that correctly. This ain't no 2K video game trolling that we're doing on you guys. No. After 20-something years, John Cena has finally came on over to the dark side. Good God almighty, John Cena has finally turned heel. Triple H was not lying when he said on social media that this was going to be a revolutionary, a game-changing PLE Elimination Chamber. He pretty much guaranteed that we, the wrestling community, we, the WWE fans, were going to be walking out of Elimination Chamber going, good God almighty, as far as the road to WrestleMania and everything. And look, none of my podcasting brothers and sisters, friends, colleagues, nobody had, not even yours truly, had on the bingo card John Cena was going heel. Nobody had that on the bingo card, and it's okay. Don't nobody need to be beating themselves up. It's okay. Even when yours truly had sat down days prior, we were here last on Tuesday night, and we went over Elimination Chamber predictions. I said to you guys, all right, you know what? I'm seeing 3 phases to this. Let's deal with what happens at Elimination Chamber. I said Cody is probably going to tell The Rock to maybe go F himself. That was phase 1. And then I looked at the men's chamber match. I said, for me, it's going to come down to CM Punk and John Cena. And I jumped out there. I said, I got to go cash all my chips in on John Cena. Something just tells me Cena. It's all about Cena this go round. But I did say, look, if Punk wins it, I would definitely be happy. But then I looked at a third phase to this, which was the road to WrestleMania. And I even laid it out when I was offering predictions. I said, I see something going down at WrestleMania where maybe Cody Rhodes, he might have said, Rock, yeah, take your deal, shove it up your ass. But maybe that was a ruse, and Cody would reveal his true colors at WrestleMania to shock all the fans. And they basically have John Cena being left there in a bloody pulp or whatever. Boy, was I scratching the surface there. We have to do a couple of reversals there, don't we? Like, I was on the right path there. I didn't think that it was going to be John Cena, but I definitely am celebrating this on so many levels. This was quite an enjoyable pay-per-view. PLE. I'm still getting used to saying PLE. I'm going to keep calling it pay-per-views probably till the day I die. Fantastic event with a lot of surprises, big surprises. Of course, that we just talked about, which we'll be diving more into in a little bit. We had the return of Jade Cargill. We also had the return of the Viper, Randy Orton. This was a stacked card. And hey, we even had a pretty damn good unsanctioned match there between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which I honestly felt was for sure going to steal the show. And up until what all had happened in the final moments of tonight's event, you definitely could have tipped your hat off there to what Sami and Owens did in the ring. But yeah, the road to WrestleMania has gotten shaken up big time. For those of you that watched tonight's Elimination Chamber event, sound off. Let your man know what you thought about the event. You can hop on youtube.com/the RCWR show. Click on the post section. Vote that way. For those of you that's tuning in, watching via X right now, formerly known as Twitter, we got a poll up for you guys. You can head on over there at the RCWR show, and we will see how things are looking with the voting in just a little bit. Let's dive through this because, I don't want to say it as if it's a diss because it's not. 4 matches, but the main meat and potatoes was Cody's decision. We'll be able to burn through all of this in no time, fam, in no time whatsoever. And I did take the liberty of taking down notes, but you know what? This was one of those events where I honestly found myself not really taking that many notes. It was really just about getting lost in the moment, just trying to enjoy the event and everything. I hope you guys' weekend is off to a fantastic start. And before I go any further on a entertainment music note, my thoughts, my prayers, my condolences go out not just to the family of Gene Hackman. We're learning so much more in regards to the passing of Gene Hackman. And I have a very interesting theory on what I think might have possibly happened. I'll share that on our Monday night edition of the RCWR show. But I'm sure many of you guys are probably checking out whatever news feeds you can, trying to make sense of what happened there. But we also had a very stunning passing that transpired several hours ago. Apparently, it went down in the wee hours of Saturday morning. I want to wish the friends, family, and colleagues of the late Angie Stone, R&B singer Angie Stone, who shockingly passed away at the age of 63. And what's really just so mind-blowing about this, less than 24 hours ago, she had just performed at an event. And from what I'm understanding, basically her and I don't know if it was family that was in the car or what, but she was traveling to some other destination. This was like after 4 o'clock in the morning. And from the details that's out right now, her vehicle somehow flipped and it hit a big rig. Now, everybody else, as far as like everybody involved in the crash, accident, everybody walked away okay for the most part, except for Angie Stone, who lost her life. So very, I was stunned to hear that. Very stunned to hear that. Of course, she'd been at it really since like the 70s, as far as her career and all that, but she saw quite the boom period there in the late 90s going into the mid 2000s and everything. She's the baby mama for D'Angelo's kid, for those of you that know your music and all that. So we'll talk a lot more about that on the Monday show. But definitely, I saw that. I was like, whoa, good God Almighty. So again, hope you guys' weekend is off to a good start. Let's dive right into this pay-per-view event here. Elimination Chamber, Toronto. Good crowd. I got to say, to see how everything opened up with that singer who was singing the national anthem for America. Elizabeth Irving is her name. Fam, you had to have watched this girl try her best to power through the national anthem because she's just literally going, "Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early?" I mean, she is just trying to hurry up, get that song out the way so she can go right to the, the Canada national anthem. And it was just hilarious watching this because, as she's trying to get through the national anthem, that Toronto crowd was lighting that song up. It had nothing to do with her. They just did not want to hear that song. And I put out the perfect tweet pretty much encapsulating what's going on here. And pretty much you would have to be at this point living under a rock to not know what's been going on in North America. But like these first 100 days that we're embarking on of the new president and his administration, it is like the end of the fucking world over here. People are losing their jobs left and right. People are being told now, write an email and tell us 5 things that you did this week that was very productive. And maybe we'll decide you can keep your job. So I didn't take it personal hearing the Canadians booing our national anthem. I laughed my ass off in delight, and I'm going, look, I get it. Like, I know why they're doing it. I would be booing too when it's all said and done. So, but as I said on social media, I said this isn't just because it's an American anthem. It's because of who the current president is and what he and his administration been doing. Plain and simple. You don't need to dive any more, several minutes into it and all of that. Like, you're in and out. That's it. Moving right along. Canadian theme, on the other hand, when it came to the Canadian national anthem, oh, no booze for that one. No booze for that one. Hey, I found myself standing and having my hand over the heart. I didn't know the Canadian anthem. I was just, all right there and everything. So, but shout out to Elizabeth Irvin, who definitely looked pretty rocked. I don't know if her publicists or if somebody in WWE maybe had prepared her for, look, get ready. But she seemed quite taken back, but she seemed to have rebound quite nicely when it came to the Canadian anthem there. Open things up with the women's elimination chamber match, which had featured the beautiful and the lovely and the talented following: Bailey, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Naomi, Roxanne Perez. This was for a shot at the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 41. Now, don't forget, this coming Monday night on Raw, we have Rhea Ripley defending that championship against Rhea Ripley. So how's that going to pan out? I mean, it's a foregone conclusion, right? Well, no, man, things have gotten pretty strange over the years. Anything can and will happen on the road to WrestleMania, as they say. But we go to this women's elimination chamber match. We get all the participants. One thing that was pretty glaring, I don't know about some of you guys, but one thing that was very glaring about the opener for this was the fact that we got to hear yet again, if you missed it at last month's Royal Rumble, it was definitely on point here tonight, hearing all the different women's entrances. And it's so interesting because as you're hearing the entrances, there wasn't that one definitive, okay, I need to get up, I need to clap, I need to cheer, or I need to jeer. I didn't get that vibe, I remember back in the day, China, for example, like her theme and all that, it would catch my attention and all that, right? Even when it came to Molly Holly, like take your pick, Molly Holly, she definitely got me. Jazz used to, I know what's going on here. Stephanie McMahon, like you had certain iconic themes that, now Trish was different because I know some people are going to be like, well, what about Trish? Trish still puts a very big smile on my face. From the first time that I saw her and just that iconic sound of hers through the years, I still get the smile. I don't cheer. I just get a big smile on my face when I see Trish, right? And I think most people do. But no, as I'm listening to all the themes, I'm going on and on about the themes because the themes sounded so goddamn generic. sounded like some royalty-free bullshit that you would be able to find online. And license, I don't have to worry about a license. I can just download this crap for free. These guys apparently get paid every single time somebody clicks on hearing this garbage, right? I mean, that's how it seemed there. So what is it, Def Rebel? I hope they are out of a job with WWE very, very soon. They signed the deal with WWE going back to 2019, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully that deal is coming up. But no, I found myself going rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. The only ones I didn't go rubbish to was Bianca Belair. I still kind of get that bobbing head going on when I hear her theme. uh Trish Stratus later on, of course, we saw Trish Stratus in her little tag match, but but just looking at all the girls in this one, Bianca Belair was the only one where I'm going, okay, her theme sounds more distinct, unique, it stands out in its own way, right? I had Roxanne Perez winning this one. I just felt it made a whole lot of sense here, but man, did they set the tone here for this one. I think what really took the wind out of most people, and I mean that in a cool way, was the fact that we got the return of Jade Cargill. And we've known for months, oh man, whenever Jade Cargill comes back, she's going to be looking for the big payback there, right? I mean, she's looking for it. Who attacked her? Who beat her up that fateful night? Took her out for X amount of months. And if you checked out the predictions portion of the show we had for this week, going over Elimination Chamber predictions, I even put out a short on YouTube. I said, look for Jade Cargill to come back here. And to not, it's a real head scratcher at this point. And, I don't quite know if it was a smart move to have Jade pop up at the very beginning. I'm not quite sure, because it just kind of seemed to me, you all can let me know, fam, but it seemed to me afterwards that the match never did really, kind of rebound. You feel me? It never quite did. Even with the surprising finish at the end of seeing Bianca Belair be the one to win the chamber, it just kind of seemed like it never did truly rebound from Jade Cargill returning there. But yeah, all the participants, they get in there, get into their chambers. Liv Morgan, and let me look at my notes here. I believe Liv Morgan and God, I'm trying to think who opened things up. I can see Naomi, Liv Morgan and Naomi. They were getting ready to open things up, and before the cage could be shut, Jade Cargill came out, and she just started freaking running havoc all over Naomi's ass. And I just love the visual shots of seeing Jade Cargill just stopping a mud hole in her ass, but then seeing poor Bianca Belair in her pod chamber crying profusely, banging on the glass, like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? Oh, right. I get it. They spent such a long time together. They've got so much history, does Bianca and Naomi there. You could say to me, well, Lee, not for nothing, but Bianca and Naomi were together for about the same length of time that Naomi was with Jade Cargill. And it could just be honestly, to chalk that up, it could just be a case where if you follow in the storyline, you could just easily say Bianca and Naomi, they just gelled better together. They just clicked more together. They had so much more in common. And, you could make whatever, but I love seeing Bianca sell all that drama that was going on there. She's looking on confused, angry, sad at what's happening with her friend and all that. And Jade Cargill did quite the number on Naomi, so much so that Naomi was deemed eliminated. You heard it on the PA. They announced that, she cannot compete. As a result of that, she is therefore eliminated. Thought for sure it was going to be a case where maybe somebody would come in and take her place. And, and then you're kind of going, okay, well, damn, we didn't consider, who could it be? Is it possible it might be Jade, or is Jade about to face instant ramifications there by Nick Aldis and crew, and maybe somebody we haven't thought about in a while, that it was almost kind of looking that way, but we never did get anybody to go in there that replaced Jade Cargill, which I think in retrospect was definitely a nice touch, I personally feel. I got to give a shout out to Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez did very well in this. Remember, from my predictions, she was the one I saw as I had it down to her and Alexa Bliss, and I was leaning very heavily with Perez. Perez performed very well. She was in that bad boy like a cool cucumber, when it was all said and done. I thought the women overall, but particularly for Roxanne Perez, and this being her very first Elimination Chamber match, I thought she handled herself extremely well. If she was nervous by any stretch, boy, I tell you, I did not see any signs of it whatsoever. But all the women in the Elimination Chamber did very, very well. Liv Morgan picking up the first elimination when she was able to take out Bailey with the Oblivion. A little bit later on, Alexa Bliss ended up eliminating Roxanne Perez. By the way, how about that hair whip to the abdominal region there of Liv Morgan that shot her all around the world, as we had at one point in the match Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan fighting on top of a pod. And then there was a little bit of hair tug pull going on with Bianca's hair. Liv was trying to do her best to hang on for dear life. And then when Bianca was able to get her hair back, she just freaking kind of stretched that bad boy out, kind of whipped it around a little bit, and then just went wham. And it sounded like a gunshot. Good God, it sounded like a gunshot. It was insane. And then to see the big old welt and the blood that was starting to come out from that welt. I mean, Bianca got Liv Morgan real good, but as I have said in recent months, Liv Morgan, she is one tough ass cookie. She really is. She's got grit. She's got gusto. She's got a lot of heart. I love that. I love that about her. But yeah, Liv Morgan trying to use that hair coming back to her there. But Liv got a little bit of revenge later on, because later on in the match, Liv ended up using Bianca's hair to send her into the steel cage fence repeatedly, face first. That was a nice visual on what they were able to do there. She followed it up with a code breaker, tried to follow up more on Bianca. Bianca coming in there with a spear. Bianca tried for a 450, but that got countered. Bianca manages to get off the KOD, but then Liv Morgan comes back with another code breaker. But at the end, Bianca Belair managed to pull off the KOD for the win. All said and done there. That match ran about 29 minutes. 15 seconds here. I'm most curious to see what's going to be happening with our girl Alexa Bliss on the road to WrestleMania there. Like, it's interesting because I felt it was going to be between her and Roxanne Perez. I never did truly feel that Bianca Belair was going to get the win, because I felt, for me, just following the story arc, I felt she was going to be more caught up in what was going on there between Jade Cargill, Naomi, and where does Bianca's allegiance lie, and all of that was going to come ahead at WrestleMania. So there was a large part of me that felt, okay, that's where we're going here. But I love the full circle moment of storytelling that Triple H and crew did right here by having Bianca be the one to win. Because you can almost say, with this one, you can almost say, you know what? Didn't quite see it coming. I thought it was going to be down to these two, but this is the one that actually ends up winning. And it's a full circle type of story from this standpoint. Remember, it was just a couple of years ago while Vince McMahon was pretty much still at play, mind you, that we got the tease there of Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. And for our longtime listeners, I know there's many of you, I remember saying, yo, sign me up. That'd be a really great rivalry. That'd be a really great story to tell, especially on the path to WrestleMania. Yeah, let's go there. We just go back, feels like ages ago now, but we go back to that point in time when Rhea and Bianca were both women's champions and they crossed paths with one another in a backstage segment. And it pretty much was, yo, see you real soon. Yeah, ditto, homegirl. I'll be seeing you real soon. Looking forward to it. Yeah, bet. And you're like, oh. And for whatever respected reason, things fell apart. We never did come back to that until now. So to paint the idea of a WrestleMania match there between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair for that championship, I'm all game. I'm all in for that, bad boys. Sign me up. We were supposed to get that a long time ago. So happy to see Bianca. Honestly, look, for me, I like Bianca Belair. I think nothing but the world of her. Very talented woman, very charismatic, energetic woman. I love the energy that she brings. But I just felt that, look, it's nice what we got going on here with the tag team, but, it's really not truly rubbing off on the rest of the girls for that respected tag division. For me, it always felt as though, this is just a placeholder for now. That's all what we're doing with you right now, Bianca. This is just a placeholder until we really, really need to get things off and popping. Then we're gonna pull the trigger and do the real deal. But kind of felt like a side quest, as I like to call it, right? You just knew that okay, they're doing this little experiment, playing around, trying to move all these other people around, trying to get the rosters nice and ready, but let's see her back in the main title picture where she belongs and everything. So again, I'm looking forward to seeing what her and I'm assuming Rhea Ripley is going to be coming out of Monday Night Raw as our winner. But congrats to Bianca Belair. Again, really great effort there by Roxanne Perez. Liv Morgan showing the continuation of her grit. Moving on to our next match, Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. Try saying that 10 times fast. Defeated the team of Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Tag match, 11 minutes, 40 seconds. Look, Candice LeRae, boy, is she lucky. She keeps getting these opportunities left and right. And I tell you what, she is making the most of these opportunities that she's getting. And that's good for her because we've seen what's been happening with some people that's been released. And if you want to make an argument, no, I'll take this person over Candice LeRae, or no, I'll take this person over Candice LeRae. I hear you. That's not me saying, but I totally understand where people are coming from and everything. But Candice LeRae is that's good bragging rights, isn't it? I mean, when you really take a step back and you think about it, there's this mediocre, wrestler, right? Who just is on such a roller coaster to be able to say, look, I was not only at a pay-per-view, but I was involved in a pay-per-view with the legend that is Trish Stratus, right? Current champion there, and Tiffany Stratton, former multi-time champion there, in Nia Jax. I mean, that's good bragging rights. Trish Stratus, by the way, my God, this woman is about to turn 50 later this year. She's about to turn 50. And my God, she still looks like the beautiful ray of sunshine that I first laid eyes on so many years ago, back when she was the manager slash valet in TNA. I'm not talking about the promotion. I'm talking about Tess and Albert. Man, I mean, God damn, it just seems like with each year that passes, this woman ages so damn fine. I love it. Telling you, I love it, fam. I know right now, by the way, and I'm surprised WWE really didn't get a chance to mention this during the broadcast or even show this during one of the commercial breaks. But for those of you that are interested in some replica, you want like commemorative stuff, Right now on the WWE shop, they've got a Trish Stratus Women's Championship replica belt, and they want about 500, a little bit over $550 for it. It looks very, very beautiful. I can't help but think about the hardcore collector and those that like go running around trying to get autographs from certain stars. I'm telling you, when you look at that joint, it's a very nice design. They did really good with the replica, but I think it looks even better than what she was pushing back in the day. Y'all might want to invest in that. Again, it's a 20, it's basically celebrating and commemorating her 25 years in the WWE. So available for a limited time. You guys might be interested in that. Um, you know, okay, tag match. Really didn't need it on the card. Really did not need this match on the card. I posed the question during predictions, wonder if Charlotte Flair was going to be much of a factor at all. If she was going to have some type of a role or whatnot. And short answer, no. She wasn't a factor at all. She didn't even make an appearance. Like, that's how much of a non-factor Charlotte Flair was in this. So taking that off the board, honestly, in retrospect, we really did not need this match, especially after what you just did and opening up with the women's elimination chamber. I honestly would have settled for a men's tag match. I would have been good with that. Or if you just wanted to be a total of 3 matches and maybe have something go a little bit longer, I would have been okay with that as well. Or to the point that was made in the chat earlier from Double A, I guess it was his wish to see Travis Scott perform. Well, he did perform, but probably not in the way that Double A was thinking. Double A was probably under the impression Travis Scott was going to sing a couple of songs, but that did not come to be. It's interesting here. A couple of observations about this tag match. One, I did not think Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton would have such great tag team chemistry. I did not anticipate any of that. I mean, they flowed very well together there. I wasn't exactly a fan of seeing Trish Stratus get her ass handed to her most of the match. I kind of felt as though the way things should have went down was Tiffany opens things up and she's pretty much in there for most of the match. She's being isolated there from getting the hot tag in there on Trish Stratus, Trish, the hometown hero and everything. I wish WWE would have played up to that much more, but they didn't. So the psychology was a little bit off on that one. But man, is it just me or does it really feel as though WWE and crew, they're really trying to give Tiffany Stratton a crash course? And look, we want you to ultimately be like Trish Stratus, but we want you to be even better. We want you to supersede her, right? We want you to surpass her on every single. It just feels like this is the pet experiment that they're doing, and I'm just kind of looking at that, going, well, you can't force somebody to be something that they aren't. You just can't, right? Why not just embrace her for what she's really good at and just figure out a way to make that work to your advantage and everything. But no, they are gun-ho about this whole, no, we want to get her super over as a baby face and everything. But yeah, this tag match, honestly felt like you were watching maybe main event on SmackDown, give or take. Maybe this was something that was going to close out the third hour of SmackDown. Nothing more, nothing less. Pretty solid effort by all the girls involved, but that was really it. Third matchup of the night, unsanctioned match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which went 27 minutes plus. Kevin Owens picking up the win. I thought for sure it was going to be a case where Sami Zayn was somehow going to pick up the win, maybe by a quick schoolboy, small package. I thought for sure Sami Zayn was going to, but one thing that never escaped my mind was Kevin is going to do such a serious number on Sami Zayn that it's probably going to be several months before we see him again. And man, these guys, they really, really went all balls out. This was fun. I can remember when Elimination Chamber first opened up tonight, and we see all the different superstars arriving at the arena. And when they went in on Kevin Owens, he was pushing his book bag around and he was looking at little knickknacks here and there. At one point, he was looking at a wrench. I think he was looking at a screwdriver, maybe a hammer, and he was putting these things in his book bag. And you're like, okay, the unsanctioned match later on where pretty much anything goes. Okay, got you. And I was looking at that going, okay, I wonder how much of a factor those tools that he's picking up, how full circle of storytelling is that going to be if we see those appear in this unsanctioned match. And it didn't appear. That's my only bone of contention that I have to pick with between Sami and KO. Make it full circle. Let those foreign objects make an appearance. And they did not make an appearance. If you can get a goddamn hockey stick in there, you can definitely get those foreign objects that Owens was messing with earlier. You can definitely have those somehow make an appearance in there. But I still enjoyed this. As far as high point, low point of the night, I would definitely say, believe it or not, contrary to, and we're going to talk a lot more about the whole post match there for the men's. We're going to dive into that. High point for me, definitely the work that Owens and Zayn brought into this matchup. Really, really good stuff right there. Where do we go? Because there's so much I want to talk about in regards to Sami and Kevin here. First off, you could legit feel the disdain that's playing off here during this fight. Right down to the point as I'm looking at these guys just piercing daggers in each other's hearts, right? I'm going, please, guys, whatever you do, don't open this bad boy up with a headlock, right? This is supposed to be a fight. We want to see you beat the living shit out of each other. So let's actually do that. Let's, fight. Sure enough, they were just swinging with the fists, and I'm like, okay, they know what time it is. Like, we got nothing to worry. Once I saw how it opened up, I'm going, we got nothing to worry about as far as the storytelling goes here. I thought both guys in this one uh, did damn good. I like that they didn't hang out too long outside the ring amongst the fans, because sometimes what you're trying to get across, it may not play that well on TV when you have the action, get up there in the bleachers and all of that. And I thought for the brief little bit of time that they were out there amongst the fans, I thought they did pretty good there. The I'm trying to think of the name of the move right now, so you guys got to forgive me, but Kevin Owens went to that move repeatedly on Sami Zayn. I think it was the Fisherman Buster is what I'm thinking about. He went to that a couple of times trying to do significant damage to the neck of Zayn. I remember there was even a couple of pop-up power bombs that Owens managed to do, couple that he pulled off on the side apron as you had officials, they're trying to come out there, yo, enough is enough. And it's like, no, like this is what these guys signed up for. Like WWE's not responsible, right? And I love the touch of having those officials being out there. Yeah, it's an unsanctioned match, but it's kind of looking as though Sami Zayn, he really cannot go. He just doesn't have it in him. Like, seriously, we should just go on ahead and just forget about this fight. Like, let's just call it a day already. And I love the fact that Kevin Owens just kept coming after Sami there. Sami, last little bit of energy that he had left in him, he manages to. Oh, by the way, that there was an insane spot where you had two tables that were stacked on top of each other. And later on, Kevin Owens threw Sami from the corner of a top rope And the way Sami just went flying and then back first into those two tables and selling the hell out of the neck. Great shit. Great shit. You know, and I want people to really pay very close attention to the next part that I'm about to say, because you got to take it all in to really lean back and go, you know, Lee, you got a damn good point, which is one of the things that I love the most about Sami Zayn is how well of a storyteller he is in the selling of his body. Like, there's only one other guy that I can think of where I go, man, he's got me thinking he's actually hurting during all this. Like, oh, man, I hope he's all right. And that's Shawn Michaels. For me, Shawn Michaels, like one of the greatest storytellers as far as body in the ring and all that. And Sami Zayn is definitely one of those great storytellers as well. I mean, you really were like, man, like, hope this dude is all right. Like, these are some insane spots that this dude is taking. Rebound almost there towards the end for Sami Zayn. He grabbed a barbed wired steel chair, which got a nice pop from the crowd as they were chanting ECW and all that. And he manages to get off a Blue Thunder bomb on KO there. One point he goes for the Halua kick, but Owens counters into a pop-up power bomb. Zayn rolls out to the outside, where Owens wraps a chair around Zayn's neck, slams him into the ring post there. Then Owens power bombs Zayn onto the ring apron. We got the officials out there trying to break things up. Owens isn't letting go worth a damn. Owens, if anything, rolls Zayn back into the ring. And it looks like at that point, you know, it's pretty much all over, you know, thank God. After the match, Owens pulls back the ring mats outside the ring. You know, it's like, oh shit, this dude is getting ready to go for another pile driver here. Like, this could really end Sami Zayn. Next thing you know, we hear the music of Randy Orton, and it's like, could it be? Could it be? That big, thick old boy came on out there. How I miss me, Mr. RKO, Randy Orton. Yeah, I was a little bit concerned though, because part of me was going, yeah, he hears voices, but is his voices somehow gonna say to him that this is Sammy's fault and he's gonna attack Sami? Hope not. I was a little leery there. I don't know if you guys that were watching the event were kind of thinking the same thing for a split second, but Orton gets into the ring, fighting Kevin Owens, gets him down, is about to deliver a trademark vintage punt to the head, but the officials break it up. You're going, oh, what the hell? So looks as though as far as Orton, Owens, WrestleMania, I mean, we've been kind of teasing this for a couple of months now. So seems like that's definitely a lock when it's all said and done. Very solid fight between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Love the touch of Randy Orton making his return. So, you know, and look, when we went back to Michael Cole and the gang, you know, they definitely sold the fact that Sami Zayn took, you know, quite a hellacious beating there, and they pretty much wish that guy a speedy recovery and that stay connected to WWE to get health updates and all. But like, dude's gonna be, that's it. WrestleMania weekend free, like he'll probably be back Raw after Mania or something like that. Like we can pretty much just chill on that note. So let's talk about this main event match. We're like already at the 43-minute mark, and we only got one more match to talk about, which coincides with the main attraction of the night. And that is the men's elimination chamber match that went down between John Cena, CM Punk, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. Winner of this advances to face Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship at this year's WrestleMania. I don't think I put Damian Priest in there. Let's make sure we get Damian Priest in there as well. 32 minutes and 40 seconds was this matchup. Drew McIntyre being eliminated after he managed to get off a Claymore to John Cena after Cena gave an attitude adjustment to Logan Paul. And Priest ended up somehow taking advantage of all of that, as he was the one that got the roll up there on Drew McIntyre. So Drew McIntyre, beside himself, pissed off to no end, he gives a claymore to a staggering Damian Priest. Meanwhile, the Maverick, that is Logan Paul, he climbed up to the top of one of the pods. It was the pod conveniently over CM Punk, as he's just looking on at Logan. Hits a frog splash to eliminate Damian Priest. So you're going, okay, right? We are just boom, boom. We are getting into this here. CM Punk, Logan Paul, they're going at it for a bit. Punk hits a GTS on Logan Paul for the elimination. This came after Logan Paul managed to pull off a double clothesline on Seth Rollins and John Cena. Was Punk able to eventually come back? GTS, boom, that's it for Logan Paul. From there, and I love how it was teased once earlier in the night, and then it was teased a second time, which is CM Punk, John Cena, right? And just going back so many years back, so many fond memories. Like, we'd be here all night just going over them and everything. Definitely one of my favorite times in the WWE for sure, involving those two guys. But the first time that it was essentially teased, Seth Rollins had something to say. I mean, he literally said to John Cena, his ass is mine. Like, you don't get him, you can't get him. No, his ass is mine. He is all mine. And Cena wasn't really a fan of hearing that, because this whole thing is like, yo, each man is for himself, right? There can be only one. So he wasn't exactly a fan of hearing all that. And so Cena and Rollins, they went at it there for a bit. But then at this point, once we get down to the final three, Rollins, Punk, and Cena, Punk and Cena decide, you know what, let's team up briefly here on Seth Rollins, stick it to him, and then it can just be, as it should be, one-on-one. Like, let's freaking go there. So Cena and it was a beautiful tag team that they did on Seth Rollins. I mean, they pretty much kind of went for, I always forget that move. I don't know if it was a doomsday device or what, but they did this nice little combo on Seth Rollins where they basically eliminated his ass. I know for sure they did the GS going into the double A, that the attitude adjustment. Punk picking up the scraps for the 1, 2, 3 to eliminate Seth Rollins that way. Then it's down to CM Punk, John Cena. And at this point, you're watching this, you're going, yo, I cannot complain. Like, this is great. I win either way, I guess, right? As you're looking at this, Cena comes in there with the STFU submission hold that gets reversed into the Anaconda Vice. Cena rolls through to force a break. Punk ends up coming back with a swinging neck breaker, then tries climbing up to the top. Gets the double axe smash on Rollins, crossbody to Cena, but caught. Then you had a attitude adjustment that was done on Punk kicking out. I'm getting just a little tiny bit mixed up because I'm thinking about when Cena was still in there. I bring all of that up to mention the fact that there was a lot of resilience that was shown here in the booking of CM Punk. Punk definitely living up to that moniker, best in the world. And it felt like the hands of time just reversed. I mean, I felt like I was 20 years younger as I was watching all of this shit play out before my very eyes and everything. Rollins, what happened there with Rollins there? Because I think now we're down to 2, right? Yeah, we already mentioned how eventually Rollins got eliminated there. So let's pick up with Cena and Punk, which came with Punk doing a GTS on John Cena, but Cena managing to kick out of it. Cena then coming in with the attitude adjustment, goes in for the cover, but Punk kicks out. And somehow John Cena ends up hitting the STFU on Punk yet again, has him in the middle of the ring, but somehow Punk manages to get to the ropes and he manages to use his legs and kick out of that STFU. He manages to kick Cena away. And I love how the camera positioning was on this one here. And learning what I've been learning in television production, camera operations, and all that. And okay, if you're trying to tell a certain story and you don't want the viewers to know about something that's getting ready to happen, you gotta have the camera at a certain angle, but at the same time, you got to make sure that the other cameraman can't be seen, right? And the way they did this was beautiful because you totally forgot about Seth Rollins to the point you probably didn't even think about whether or not Seth Rollins exited the ring. Because the next thing you know, as Punk is kicking John Cena away from him, you just see this foot from out of nowhere that just curb stomps the hell out of Punk to the canvas. Like, oh shit, Rollins is still in the ring. Then he makes his way out. Cena, sensing blood, comes right in, hits the STFU. CM Punk fading. Rollins looking on, telling him to die. Punk fades out. John Cena wins. And with that win, John Cena now ties Triple H with 4 Elimination Chamber victories. That's the most record. Now it's kind of a question of, will it be number 5 or probably not? But you can't help but wonder, like, oh, okay, is that it? Like, or is somebody else going to come eventually and break that record? By the way, I liked hearing them give Chris Jericho a nod. For those of you that did not watch the event, they gave Chris Jericho a nod as the creator of the Elimination Chamber. So that was pretty nice. Also, shout out to WWE because at different points I was seeing them play around with 4K. Yeah, I was seeing like different camera angles and all that, and they were messing around with 4K. I'm going, okay, that's all right, that's what's up. That's cool. Like, I'm down with that. Good stuff though. 4K, 8K. I can definitely tell with the resolution because I'm pushing a 4K TV, and I can tell when, okay, we're at normal quality that they normally give us. But then you guys know your tech stuff. You know when they're playing around with some high tech gadget stuff. So John Cena picking up the big W. Cody Rhodes coming out, embracing John Cena. Looks like they're having a few friendly exchange of words, but wait. All that is about to change. The mood is about to change because The Rock comes out with Travis Scott. Travis Scott pushing his own custom, looked like a hardcore championship belt. I don't know what was going on there. It wasn't the Rama Bull belt, the People's Championship there that The Rock was pushing. Rock wanting to know Cody's answer as John Cena is looking on, looking at Cody, looking at the whole situation. And, it's almost like John Cena was looking on from the standpoint of, come on, man, do the right thing. Please do the right thing here. Cody, do the right thing here. Now we know what that right thing is in retrospect. Cody pretty much telling The Rock, like literally and figuratively, he said to him, quote unquote, Rock, go fuck yourself. Nice pop from the crowd. Travis Scott got his little incense burning, whatever is going on. He's sage, whatever he's doing. He's just getting kind of caught up in the moment there. Rock is just marinating on the words that The Rock The Rock is just marinating on the words that Cody Rhodes just put out there. John Cena is selling this big time. He's loving it, and he is just reacting with the crowd. Finally, it would seem like an eternity, we see John Cena give dab to Cody Rhodes, and it kind of looks like Cody is saying to John Cena, let's go to WrestleMania. Let's have ourselves a phenomenal kick-ass match. And the two are embracing. John Cena's eyes lock with The Rock, and The Rock does a cutthroat gesture. John Cena stops smiling, and you see this pissed off, diabolical look on his face as shit just got real. Shit just got real quick. And we see John Cena just goes to town. He just starts going to town on John Cena. Ends up grabbing the man's Rolex watch, clocks him over the face with it repeatedly. Travis Scott even getting in a couple of licks. You're going, goddamn. You know it's bad when Travis Scott is kicking your ass. You know it's bad. Okay? This was a massacre. It was. It was a bloody massacre. Cody busted open. Rock promised that he was going to get Cody's blood, his soul on that belt that he made just for Cody. And God damn it, he's a man of his word. Like, now we know something in regards to The Rock. When The Rock busts out a custom-made belt with your name on it, best believe your blood at some point is going to be put on that bitch. Like, so we need to be on point when it comes to that. I know some people were looking at some of the faces that John Cena was making, and they were going, he's being too over animated. He's being too, you know what? It's interesting because, again, I'm taking classes in television production, camera production, and all of that, because I'm going for a degree in journalism, which I'll be having my associates later this summer. Happy to say. The one thing that I thought was, everybody's like the facial expressions. No, the one thing I'm tripping over personally is, his face is so caked up with makeup. The lighting wasn't really too kind on John Cena here. They really needed to dial it back big time on the amount of makeup that they put on him. You could tell, like, just go back. Like, if you're pushing a 4K TV, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. His face was fucking caked up. All right. Didn't quite look right, especially in the eyebrows. Didn't look right at all. But I had no problem with the facial expressions whatsoever. Now, let's talk about this, because my wife actually had walked in and saw all of this play out. And as I said to her, I said, look, nobody saw this coming. Nobody predicted this. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, we as wrestling fans, we want to be shocked. We want to be awed, right? We want things to be shaken up. We don't want to walk away going, oh, yeah, I said this was going to happen on the pay-per-view. I said this was going to happen, and every single thing I said was right. No, we like those twists and turns, and, oh, wow, did not see that coming whatsoever. This was a brilliant move on so many levels. And as I explained it to my wife, and as I would explain it to you all right now, I know that there were times when John Cena toyed with the idea of going heel, but one of his main concerns was, okay, so if I go heel, who's going to be stepping in my place? Because obviously I'm a top merchandise pusher. I am a ticket pusher when it comes to the gate. Like, who are we going to get that's going to slide into that role very easily and pick up where I left off? And if just to even top it, just crush my numbers, why don't you? And the fact that for the longest time, WWE did not have that person. Like, they didn't even have it with Roman Reigns. For the longest time, they didn't even have that with Roman Reigns, right? And then sadly, by the time it was a case where, well, wait a minute, we're finally starting to hit that stride there where WWE is just printing money like there's no fucking tomorrow. It's like, yeah, well, John Cena, he's pretty much already got both feet out the door. He's doing the Hollywood thing, all that other good stuff. So, so and look, this isn't like, just go back as a WWE fan and just look at where the company was. Like, there truly was not somebody that could easily just slide right in there and, okay, we're good. This guy dominated. It was called the John Cena show for a reason. He was called Super Cena for a reason back in the day. So the timing of John Cena now going heel is awesome on so many levels, because, to quote John Cena, remember what he said in that conference? He said, once his tour is over, you'll continue to see him appear at WWE events, but he's going to be in a suit. He's not going to be pushing the in-ring attire. Those days are going to be over for him. So if you're going to be going out, if this is your farewell, why not give fans a taste of, hey, you know what? Yeah, what might have been? What could have been if he would have gone the heel route? What might have that consist of? So to be able to now see that as he's on his way out the door, I fucking welcome it. It's definitely a breath of fresh air. I don't see this lasting that long. Now, some of you guys may say, Lee, a 47 going on 48-year-old John Cena. Why now, homie? Why now is he like, oh, the dark side? I think the story is very, very simple. I know some people have been looking at this and they've been going, wow, man, just the way that in story Triple H is pretty much getting bitched around here because The Rock is just able to show up and do XYZ. Like, what the fuck? I think all that ties perfectly into John Cena. Think about it for a second. One of the direction, and I'm hoping this is the main direction that WWE is going to be taking us on, is when all the stuff was going on with, John Cena and, his loyalty to the company. I can see John Cena going, there were some dark times here in the WWE, and I always have been a good foot soldier, through and through, and when WWE, needed me the most, I would like to think that I've always been there for them through the good times and the bad times, you know, uh, through my 20 years, my blood, my sweat and tears. Make no mistake about it, WWE would not be where it is right now if it wasn't for what I laid down of a foundation for all these people that are now able to eat and eat really hearty because of what I laid down. And how soon we forget. Cena can also bring up the fact of how he pretty much had to, like, essentially force his way back into the WWE because he'd been wanting to do different things, but he kept getting shot down. And if he wants to mention Triple H, Paul Levesque by name, and or Nick Khan, this is where you can start to blur the lines a little bit if you want to. And he can easily come back to The Rock and be like, The Rock knows what I've been going through, and if anybody could relate to my frustrations and blah this and blah that, The Rock definitely, The Rock still believes in me. The Rock still believes that I can still contribute to this company, you know, just as a 30-year-old me or a 35-year-old me. I can see Cena spinning things in such a way where, because I know the other thing, well, what's this all about? Like, Cena, and I think one of the color commentators mentioned this. Cena has all the money in the world. He's in movies. Like, why? Like, I don't understand this. Why? And it was right at that moment John Cena holds up that WWE Undisputed Championship. And he's literally giving you the answer right then and there. Cena could also spin this in such a way where he goes, this whole farewell retirement tour, this is being forced upon me. I'm not trying to retire. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this current regime of Triple H, Nick Khan, and they're trying to force me out the damn door. I'm not trying to leave. Credit to The Rock for, I can see something like that playing out. And I tell you what, if WWE's got some interesting as far as the road to WrestleMania, this could get very, very interesting because John Cena in story could essentially say, I'm going to win that WWE championship. And with The Rock's help, I'm going to be keeping that championship for quite a long time. That if I can have it my way, I'll never retire. Like I can see him saying some weird shit like that. I could also see it being a case where I could also see it being a case where maybe John Cena is so obsessed with championship 17. Championship 17. He doesn't just want to, he doesn't want to just tie. He wants to break, right? He wants that. I can see him so obsessed with that nothing else matters. And in order to achieve that, he'll do whatever wheeling, dealing, conniving, like whatever he's got to do in order to achieve that goal. But it's very interesting how I think I might be on to something with the first part of why Cena has gone in this direction. I really think I might be on to something here, and I can't wait to see how things play out with WWE programming for these next several weeks because that's really gonna paint the canvas of WrestleMania and all that, right? And of course, the past history that John Cena and The Rock had, and if anybody knows, if anybody has a fraction of an idea what The Rock was going through when he started dipping into Hollywood, but he still wanted to continue on in pro wrestling and how the two worlds were just tearing at him, from left and right. Hey, I still feel I can go, I can still do this, and all of that. Cena can definitely relate if you're following the story. So this makes it very, very, and then also at the same time, what if? What if we had got a dark Cena? What if we had got an evil Cena? So it's great to be seeing all of this play out before our very eyes. Great freaking moment. WWE history. Kudos to Triple H, Paul Levesque, and crew. I know Cena had said a couple of years ago that the story would have to be right in order for him to go heel. Like everything, because before it was just okay, who's going to be, that next big baby face? Like, who do we got that's already in place, right? That can sell at the gate. Like, who do we? But then eventually it became, well, it's got to be right. It's got to be the right story arc. I got to really be feeling it. Like the timing, everything just has to be perfectly aligned. So I go back to the last press media thing. I think it might have been the Royal Rumble. And somebody asked the dumb question about, oh, are we going to get to see Peacemaker make an appearance during your farewell tour? And I'm just thinking to myself, we're talking about a separate IP, intellectual property, that's owned by DC, DC Comics. Like, that's highly, I mean, I won't say that was a terrible question, but I think what would have been a better question is Cena. And nobody ever touched it. Cena, we've never seen you go heel. You've had your respected reasons for never going heel. As part of this farewell tour, is it possible, we might see you like fucking go there? Everybody's just playing dumb, picking their nose, asking the most dumbest questions, with the exception of my guys from Sports Illustrated and a few others. But good shit overall. Great moments that was established here at Elimination Chamber. Let's see what you guys had to say here. I'm looking at the polling here on X. Let's see what you guys had said. Right now, I'm seeing 11% of you felt that this year's Elimination Chamber was an average show. 21% of you said it was an awesome show. And we got a bonus option for you guys here. It's exclusive to X. 68% of you said Cena, yo, what the fuck? Meanwhile, let's see what's going on with you guys on YouTube here, youtube.com/the RCWR show. Click on the post section, get your voting in that way. Let's see. 100% of you guys said it was an awesome show. So early voting still coming in right now from what I'm seeing on YouTube, but we got a better snapshot over on X. But overall grade, high point, low point for Elimination Chamber. I'm going to say high point. It's a tie. It's a tie, but I'm going to give the slight edge. I'm going to give the slight edge to. I'm going to give a slight edge to Dark Cena. Nobody had that, not even myself. Nobody had that on the bingo card. You know, we thought for sure that, especially with that built-in relationship that he's had for decades with Make-A-Wish, it's just you're like, wow, you know, to be able to get John Cena to do that, to do this ride. And I stuck around purposely for the first couple of minutes for the Elimination Chamber post show. And off the break, they said John Cena has turned. So without a shadow of doubt, like this is officially the heel turn for John Cena. But before we got all of that, that played out before our eyes, the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens unsanctioned match, like that was definitely for me the high point of the night. But slight edge. I'm gonna go with Dark Cena and just the way all of that had played out. Low point of the night, looking at the entire card. I am gonna go with my feelings are still the same. I'm gonna go with the Tiffany Stratton, Trish Stratus, Nia Jax, Candice, LeRae match. Like it wasn't understand, folks, wasn't a terrible match by any stretch. Wasn't even a bad match. It was just it was like a SmackDown match. Like it wasn't needed. It just was not needed. I probably would have got more kicks if it would have been a case where maybe Tiffany Stratton would have faced Trish, maybe a non-title match, or better yet, match for the women's championship. But yeah, I wasn't really feeling that one. Overall grade, man, besides that mediocre match, average match there. Women's match, I'm thinking about the women's match overall, and then okay, we kind of surprised you guys because this person ended up winning. And then I'm thinking about the star power, Jay Cargill returning. I'd give the women's match a B plus. That tag match, I'm gonna give it a C. Kevin Owens, actually, wait a minute. Women's match, I'm gonna give a women's match, I'm gonna give a B minus. B minus. Women's tag match, I'm gonna give a C. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, I'm gonna give them a. I'm gonna give them a B plus. I'm gonna give them a B plus. Men's Elimination Chamber match. I'm between a B minus to a B, give or take. And then thinking about what happened post match. Yeah, so I think overall grade, they're going to be looking at like a B, B minus, give or take for the overall pay-per-view card. Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shit, 10 being awesome sauce. 8.5, maybe even a 9. But for now, we'll follow up. We'll follow up on Monday Night Show. For now, though, I'm going to say 8.5 out of 10. And that is going to do it. We did pretty good. We went about an hour, almost 15 minutes long. Please, for those of you that haven't watched the pay-per-view yet, make sure you sound off. Let me know your thoughts about it when it's all said and done. And as far as programming notes, I'll be right back on the air with you guys Monday night, March the 3rd, 2025, after WWE Raw goes off the air. We'll be live all throughout social media. Make sure you are kind and rewind. Check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on the downloads, wherever you get your podcast. Just search the RCWR Show. Shout out to our sponsors. By the way, we love them all tremendously. We'll make sure we have their links be put up in the episode description of this very episode. If you haven't shown love to the YouTube channel, make sure you show that some love. Hit the like, subscribe, so you don't miss out on future content. YouTube.com/the RCWR Show. And until next go round, my pretty babies, wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I'll see you next go.